Today's Democratic presidential debate in Southern California is back on. It was put on hold after a labor dispute at Loyola Marymount University, which is the site of the event.
CBS reporter Ed O'Keefe is there now joining us live. And so, Ed, what can we expect from the candidates tonight now that the House has voted to impeach President Trump?
Hey, Kenny and Michelle. Well, there'll probably be some questions about the impeachment and exactly how a Senate trial should proceed, given that a handful of those on stage tonight are set to sit as jurors in that impeachment trial, but otherwise expected to focus on issues like health care, climate change, gun control, the economy. Those are the issues that dominate when we ask voters across the country what they care about and what they want to hear these Democratic presidential candidates talk about.
Ed, can you give us a short rundown of what to watch for from the 7 Democratic presidential hopefuls facing off tonight?
Sure. Well, you'll have, I guess you said, 7 of them on stage. The only Californian at this point is Tom Steyer. We can expect that if there's any sort of sparring to be done between the candidates, it's likely to focus on Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who has risen in the polls in the early states of Iowa and New Hampshire especially, and is likely to get some incoming from Senator Elizabeth Warren, who in some ways has either stagnated or slipped as Mayor Pete has risen. But also expect them potentially to sort of focus on here in California. Bernie Sanders especially, Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden all doing relatively well depending on the poll and are going to try to keep that momentum going. There has been a push among some California Democrats, especially and activists out here, to get this debate talking about issues of concern to the Golden State, things like homelessness or climate change, again, issues that have far more impact on this large Super Tuesday state.
Ed, this is going to be the 6th and final debate of the year. What do you expect in terms of some of the candidates who are towards the bottom, including Andrew Yang? What do you expect from him tonight?
Yeah, so Yang and Steyer, who essentially are the 6th and 7th guys on stage, likely just have to continue looking for moments, either some kind of zinger that they can level against one of the top-tier candidates or some point that they can make that sort of draws more attention to them. Yang has been especially good at this on debate stages. Doesn't talk as much as the others, but when he is called on or when he does get a chance to speak, definitely makes some interesting points that sort of lead to more interest in his campaign. The other one to watch tonight, I would think, is Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. The last 2 debates, after them, she's been able to raise millions of dollars and draw more attention to her campaign as she draws contrast, especially with Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, arguing that she is another moderate alternative on stage if they're looking for someone other than Joe Biden or Mayor Buttigieg. So we'll see exactly how it plays out tonight. But as you said, the 6th and final debate, and one that's actually happening. This debate was originally scheduled to be held at UCLA, but there was a labor dispute going on there, so the DNC moved it to Loyola Marymount University, and they settled a labor dispute on that campus on Monday, allowing this debate to proceed.
All right, we'll be watching Ed O'Keefe live from Los Angeles. Thank you for your insight this morning.